Hello, YouTube. This is My Crazy Opinions. I'm here with the Chicago Conservative, and we are talking about a lot of things today. The Unity rally in Chicago on Sunday, and Joe Biden ignoring a little black girl at his rally, and they called Donald Trump a racist. So I'm going to pass the mic around, let people introduce themselves and say what's on their mind, starting with the Unity rally in Chicago.
Hey, I am P. Ray, the chair and founder of Chicago Red. We are having a unity rally this Sunday, July 14th at noon, from noon to 3. We are going to be at the intersection of Madison and Central, which is in the Austin community. If you do not know, Austin is Chicago's largest black community. We are America's largest black community. We have 85,000 Negro people living in the same neighborhood. Not immigrants, not people who came here, not, none of that straight people, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas. We are their grandchildren, and we are thriving on the west side of Chicago. So we are hosting a unity rally. And the unity rally will be made up of Chicago Red, which is primarily black. We are a black group based here on the west side of Chicago. Shout out to the Southsiders who come and greet us here on the west side as well. And then we're going to have patriots from all over the county area. In the suburbs, we have people coming from Will County. We have people coming from Kane County. I heard we even have people coming from McHenry. This is going to be a huge event because it's going to be the first time that they've had, or that we've executed, a Trump rally like this in the city of Chicago. Typically, when they do their flag rallies, they are in the suburbs. They are on the side of the road there. We are going to be in the middle of what they call Chirac. Okay. We're going to be in the middle of Chirac. We went out there and we spoke to some of the soldiers of Chirac who are standing out there, and we asked them, how do you guys feel about this? We're about to bring this Trump rally here. It's going to have a lot of attention. And the guy said, Donald Trump? I said, yeah. He said, you going to bring him right here? I said, no, we're not going to bring him right here. We're just going to have a rally, but it's going to be good. He said, hell yeah. I F with that white man. Yes, we want him to come here. Hey, y'all, they said they going to do a Trump rally right here. They what? Heck yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, yes. Okay. Yeah, we going to make sure y'all okay. We're going to make sure that, nobody bothers you. We're going to invite people. Oh my God, we're so happy to be a part of this. So this is going to be something that America has never seen. We should not run into any problems. We're about a block away from the police station. They are aware that we're going to be there. So shout out to the 15th District Chicago Police Department. They are 100% 10 toes down with us. Again, on the west side of Chicago, we do not hate the police. We do not want them defunded. We do not get into any of that foolishness, because at the end of the day, when we dial 911, we need them to show up with that steel. That's it. That's the only reason that you're calling, to get some help. So shout out again to the Chicago Police Department. Shout out to my brothers here in Chicago Red. Shout out to the Chicagoland Patriots. And yeah, a time will be had. If you want to put it in your GPS, you can put in 1 South Central, Chicago, Illinois, 60644. 1 South Central, Chicago, Illinois, 60644. We're going to be right there in this huge space in front of a laundromat. You'll see it. It's a huge intersection, and go Donald Trump. It's MAGA, baby. Jussie Smollett told the truth when he said Chicago is MAGA country, because it's true. We turning it out one event at a time.
Absolutely.
Yep. Hey, how's it going, guys? Chicago Conservative here, and Vice President of the Chicago Red organization. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm really excited about this Trump unity rally, man. I'm just excited about the diversity. I'm just excited about the Trump support that's gonna be there, guys. Look, I'm gonna be honest, guys. We're tired of Democrats. We're just tired of the people that are just basically the main problem that's going on in all of these inner cities, guys. And when it comes to Donald Trump and I'm sorry, guys, I just have to be honest here. They don't support blue troops. They're letting in illegals. And at the end of the day, guys, they don't care about black people. I'm just going to keep it a stack, guys. Now, Donald Trump, you guys can call him racist and stuff all you want to, but at the end of the day, Donald Trump cares for black people. He funded black people billions of dollars when it comes to, college. And, it's just some things people just don't understand when it comes to Donald Trump, like how he's the only president that doesn't have a slave descent. Like, I never knew that, but you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to this Trump unity rally, guys, let's just go out there, show our support for Donald Trump. Let's go have some fun. And, like I said, you guys get a chance to meet the gang here, P. Ray. You guys get a chance to meet, you didn't even tell him you was the
Osiris.
No, I was saying you didn't tell him you were the executive director.
Executive director. Oh.
Yeah.
I thank you.
But yeah, you guys, you guys can just meet all of us, and we're just gonna have a great time, guys, and I'm excited.
And yes, as he said, I have newly become the executive director of Chicago Red. So thank you for that. Thank you for everyone and all of your support.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dennis. I am the 2A activist, and I'm looking forward for Sunday, but I want to address something to some of you all. Whatever you do, don't be a fool.
Yeah, don't come over.
Don't do it. You Venezuela gang member, stay where you at instead, because if you cause any problem, click, aim, bang.
I love it.
Brandon Johnson, this is a personal direct message to you. Keep your kids in the playpen, which is the penitentiary. Keep them there. We don't want no more problems than what happened on the 4th of July, that you out there blaming a dead president and stuff. So I'm looking forward. I can feel the energy. We're going to have plenty of good times. It's going to be nothing but love. There is no MAGA racism here. The only thing there is the Democrats racism. So always remember this, because we don't want no more killing. We're tired of the killing. We're tired of the shooting. We're tired of the gaslighting. And you black people that still want to stay on that plantation, Biden going to reward you with them buckets of them KFC chicken. So, you don't bring no problems here. Not on God's day. Not on my day. Not on P. Ray Day. Not on Chicago Red Day. We're going to have a good time. And if you cause any problem, they're going to call me. They're going to get me.
Show you right.
Absolutely. Speaking of race and diversity and the black community, let's talk about Joe Biden ignoring a little black girl at a rally recently. Now, we all know if Donald Trump had did this, they would have went crazy. They would have been rioting. They would have blown up social media. They would have tried to resurrect Dr. Martin Luther King and been like, did you see what just happened? Like, they would have went ballistic. But of course, with Democrats, they can be blatantly racist and they can get away with it, unfortunately. And we saw Joe Biden say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And all of this insanity happened.
You ain't black.
You ain't black. You ain't black. Trying to be hip and
Driving with the tribe.
Driving with the tribe is like, no, we see you. We saw Joe Biden actually at a black church recently. My mama was like, do you see him? He looked like he never seen a black person a day in his life. He looked so uncomfortable, looking crazy. But you see Donald Trump at the Black Conservative Federation. You see Donald Trump going to Atlanta to a restaurant.
Dancing, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and he's giving black people hugs. And the black woman was like, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what the media say. Like, we support you. And the media, they're angry when they see black people supporting Trump. They're angry when they see black people say, hey, we can relate to you in some kind of way. They hate that. Because with Democrats, what you have to understand, they are elitist. A lot of them, they come across as elitist. When they turned my school, the Wadsworth Elementary in my neighborhood, into a migrant shelter, they're lecturing us like, oh, did you know Venezuela's a country in Latin America and people speak Spanish and we're going to have to turn this into a... And we're like, I took world geography. I know. And I think that moment when Biden ignored that black girl, it's indicative of Democrat elitism. It's indicative of that Hillary Clinton kind of arrogance, the reason why she lost the first time around. So even though it may have been one little moment, a slip up, it wasn't a mistake. And I think it's a microcosm of a much bigger problem going on in the Democrat Party. The reason why Biden doesn't really want to step down, he wants power. So don't let people try to explain it away and say, oh, he spoke to her afterwards or whatever. I think that moment is a really powerful moment. And it says a lot more about Joe Biden than it does about Donald Trump.
I want to say something about that.
Absolutely.
I want to say something about that point. I mean, only thing I can say is... Somebody ain't gonna get that bucket of chicken in during that election, huh? This is what you get for voting for somebody that prove how black you are.
Yeah, true.
This is the proof. Now, I want to know what Charlamagne the God gonna say about it. I want to know what Joy Reid gonna say about it. I want to know what Maxine Waters gonna say about it. I want to know what what's that girl with the eyelash who got
Jasmine.
Oh yeah, the one that got his that
Jasmine Crockett.
oh yeah
okay.
oh yeah I thought that thing was scanned, but this is what you get for voting for Democrats, black people. That young lady should prove it to you. I was about to cry for her, but for what?
You look so sad.
Heartbroken.
For what? Why would I want to cry for it? You went to the rally. You thought he was going to hug you or shake your hand. And he didn't do nothing. At least he could at least sniff her hair. And he didn't even do that.
He didn't even pat her on the
He
shoulder.
didn't even give her a pat on the shoulder or, see there? That's what you get for voting for Corn Pop right there. So, but black people, you got to be more aware of who you voting for right now.
I just want to piggyback on what Dennis said, man. Like,
With the laughter?
yeah, no, yeah, that too. But it's just like, yeah, it's like this is kind of what you get. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, this is kind of who Joe Biden has always been, and it's like, he's always been Jim Crow Joe. I got like so many things that I can say about Joe Biden to just prove that this guy's just racist. He has said a eulogy at the leader of the Ku Klux Klan's funeral. So if that ain't racist, then I don't know what is. He literally said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, just like what they said. He said all kind of things like, I don't want my kids swimming with black kids because I don't want it to be a racial jungle. Things like that. The crime bill that he cited in the 90s, locking all kind of black men up for petty crimes. And Kamala Harris did that as well. The one that they're trying to replace Joe Biden for, getting black men locked up for petty crimes like marijuana, when she herself been asked, have you ever smoked weed? And she was laughing, guys.
And
So
her daddy called her a disgrace to the Jamaican, to her ancestors, and told her. So when they asked her about the weed,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Sorry. When they asked her about the weed, she laughed and she said, well, of course I'm Jamaican. Of course I smoke weed. And it really angered her father. So he put out a press release. And in that press release, he said that the cannabis flower came from India. So if you want to put weed smoking on somebody, put it on your mama, because the Jamaican people have worked very hard to shake that stereotype. And here you are promoting it as the vice presidential candidate. You are a disgrace to the ancestors. Don't put us in your mouths again. Basically. Yeah, and that's why she doesn't talk about being Jamaican. You see, she doesn't say anything. It's never like, oh, curry and right. No. Her daddy told her, don't say nothing else about us. And it wasn't even a private conversation. It was a very public conversation in a press release.
Is she an AKA?
She is an AKA. She is my soror. Yes, shout out to the soror. So a lot of people, and then I'm going to go back to Jim Crow Joe and why he's for real a racist. But a lot of people have this notion that if you are in the Divine Nine, the Pan-Hellenic Council, then you are a part of this cabal of people who are working against black people, and we are the reason that all of this chaos is happening, and we are doing all of this for white acceptance. I've been an AKA for 17 years, okay? I'm Spring 07. Shout out to the Gamma Theta chapter at Hampton University, Spring 07 birthright line. I'm number 23, Miss Info, because I've been doing this a long time. And so with that, I know the work that I do. I know the work that other people who are in these organizations do. And I think it's very unfair that people tie the chaos of these individuals to the organization. Because like all of y'all are black men. I wouldn't sit here and say black men commit crimes and shoot people and gangbang and sell drugs. The first thing y'all would say, well, we don't do that. That's not true. How do you say that about all black men? So I'm asking the people who are watching this, please stop talking about the Pan-Hellenic Council and the Divine line 9 or the grade 8, depending on when you came in, and what we're doing and what we're not doing. Those are individuals. Those are not organizational goals. I do not go to chapter meeting with my notebook full of notes on how I'm going to crash the Negro race for this month. No, we're not doing that. So that was a sidebar. But Jim Crow Joe and why he's Jim Crow Joe. Joe is very proud of the fact that Delaware was a slave state. So there were states that were slave states, but that necessarily did not fight on the side of the Confederacy. Technically, Delaware is a southern state. It's considered a southern state, even though they're in the mid-Atlantic region. And so they were a slave state, but they fall on the side of the Union, although some people in Delaware fall on the side of the Confederacy. Jim Crow Joe said that he got along well with the Dixiecrats, Robert Byrd, who is the Democratic senator of West Virginia, who you referred to, Strom Thurmond, the Republican senator from North Carolina. You had David Duke, also was in there, Barry Goldwater, the Democrat from Arizona. They all were in this little clique. And these guys, even though Strom Thurmond was a Republican, this was the Dixiecrat crew. And so when the Dixiecrats lost the election in 1964, I believe, they split and they went back into the parties. Some of them went back to the Democratic Party because that's where the Dixiecrats came from. And then some of them went into the Republican Party so that they could accomplish their aims bipartisanly. Okay. So with all of that being said, he was the little homie to the Dixiecrats because all of them were old men. He was the young man. He said he had a lot in common with them because Delaware was a slave state. But then he erroneously says that Delaware fought on the side of the Confederacy and they did not. So that's even a way for him to lie, to tie himself to them closer. So we have to understand that Jim Crow Joe is literally an old racist man. And people think of Delaware being in the north because it's north of Philly. But at the same time, he is just like them. This is why he proudly boasts with his whole chest that every crime bill to come across the Senate since he was there came across the desk of Joseph Robinette Biden. He said this. So instead of us calling it the 94 crime bill, we have to call it the Biden crime bill. Instead of us calling it the war on drugs, we have to call it the war that Biden put in place to lock up Negroes. Joe Biden is responsible for locking up more black people and constitutionally enslaving them than there were who were actually in slavery at the height of slavery. He is a real live enemy to the Negro people, and it really is upsetting to me when I see all of these literate, educated people who are pushing him so much. And I'm like, didn't y'all take the same American history class I took? Right. Like, am I the only one who read this? Am I the only one who listened to this? But he's proud to be a Klan adjacent.
Wow. And speaking of Joe Biden locking black people up, let's please remember that Donald Trump let black people out when he was president, meeting with Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, and of course a lot of black political leaders. And they were talking about letting black people out of prison to really reverse the damage that Joe Biden did. We talk about, Alice Marie Johnson, a black woman who was locked up for a very long time over a drug conviction. And when she got out, she gave a very passionate speech supporting Donald Trump. And it's funny because a lot of these people talk about criminal justice reform. They talk about, black people got an X on their back and the system's out to get them. But they say nothing to reward or to even acknowledge the work that Donald Trump did on criminal justice reform, bipartisanship when he was president, working with Democrats and Republicans to let so many black people out of prison. You don't hear Democrats talk anything about that. So the question I ask is, if he's so racist, why is he really letting your uncle and your granddad and a lot of people in your community out of prison? But, those are questions you're not really supposed to ask if you're on the Democrat side.
And it's deeper than that, because not only did he free them, but he then sent ICE to the factories here in Chicago to raid them of the illegal workers that were keeping black people out of those jobs for generations. Once ICE came in, those brothers who got out of jail went and got those factory jobs, paying anywhere between $18 to $25 an hour, and then they began to build their American dream. Some of them were also able to take advantage of the low interest rates that were in place during the Trump administration, and then they became homeowners. So you had people who literally went from prison to home ownership based on things that Donald Trump put in place. And that's why we're pushing for President Trump to get back in office. It's not just that we like to wear MAGA hats and, go to the rallies, but this is really about the survival of our people.
We got 4 more months 4 calendar months for the election. This election is going to determine, can this country be saved or will it be destroyed and stuff. Now, I would like this as a predicament. Trump as president, my VP, Marco Rubio. Why? Because they feared him, and he could raise a lot of money on the Republican. The press secretary, either Kerry Lake or P. Ray. That would be nice.
Absolutely.
I will have Vivek Ramaswamy as chief of staff. I would like to have that in there. The energy secretary, Sarah Palin, because she know everything about energy more than that other woman, whoever she is and stuff. For AG, who?
You said Attorney General?
Yes.
AG? Okay.
Yeah, AG. You know what? That's a toss-up. That's a toss-up for the AG. Because the last time Trump picked an AG, he was a weak one. We need a really strong AG. We really do need a very, very strong Attorney General and stuff. I believe that the Republicans going to get the Senate. They're going to keep the House. And they're going to drain the swamp and stuff. I like Mike Johnson, but he got to stop putting these CRs in and stuff because he's giving them money too much. I'm being honest now. I mean, I like him because yes, he is. I mean, as far as him being a Christian, I like him, but I'd rather have a strong speaker.
Yeah.
Now, they don't want Jim Jordan as speaker because he's loyal to Trump.
Yeah, he's really passionate.
Yes. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'll put that name up there. I'll put that. What's wrong, P-Break? Oh, okay. I'm just.
She's outspoken too.
Yeah, she's very outspoken. I mean, just like I am and stuff. But it's important for us to, as a people, to really vote for November 5th. And because not only the media, but we got the black media who's suppressing us to stay in our place.
Right.
We got the black politician saying, if you vote for Trump, look what Maxine Waters say, you vote for this racist, you're not going nowhere.
Did y'all see her fixing her wig on TV?
Was it?
Oh my God!
Like
it was
this?
horrible. No.
It was like this?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought she was a GD.
She's there. She's on the camera, and the lady is interviewing her. Abby Phillips, I think that's her name. I could be making from CNN. So she's interviewing her. Maxine leans into the camera, and then she literally on national TV. She like,
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. These people are a mess.
and then she just pushed it over to the side, and then just sit there. I'm like, oh my God, does she know we can see her right now? Like, what are you doing? It was bad, but that again leads me to this point that the Democrats right now are not putting their best foot forward. Mm-hmm. They're failing on every level, starting with Jim Crow Joe's abysmal debate performance, right?
Yes.
That was really bad.
I love it.
Yeah, it was good for us, right?
I love it.
It takes a burden off of us because they did a lot of work for us. Yeah. But we had his abysmal showing. We had Jamal, who got kicked out of his office. Jamal Bowen. He got primaried out. Yeah. You got the people's auntie fixing her weave on TV. You got this is horrible. You have them having these meetings now. So I was sharing with you all earlier that Biden had a meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus to talk about the impact of right-wing influencers on black voters. They had a meeting about us, y'all. They care about us for real. So, I mean, the fact that they're having these emergency meetings to talk about what we're doing shows how terrible of how much influence we have. of course, but also how terrible of a time they're having. Because every time they have to have a meeting to try to talk about what happened or, try to pivot, that's time being taken away from them actually campaigning. Exactly. And then you have now this infighting where today Cori Bush wouldn't even affirmed that she supported the president. She said, we want to defeat Donald Trump. She said, but do you support Joe Biden? She said, we want to defeat Donald Trump. I said, whoa. So then she says, well, do you think that Joe Biden is able to do that? She said, I don't know. You have to ask the president that. I can't answer that.
That's bringing up a good point. Because you said we want to defeat Donald Trump. And a lot of people fail to realize back in the 2020 election, a lot of people didn't vote for Joe Biden. They just voted against Donald Trump. Correct. And that's why me personally, I just feel like we just need more people, more strong spoken people to speak up about stuff like this. That's what I feel like what's wrong with Republicans nowadays. We're too soft spoken. They're I like Marco Rubio, and I also like Vivek Ramaswamy as VP picks because they are very strong, well-spoken people. And it's like we haven't had nothing like this for a very long time when it comes to Republicans besides Donald Trump. You feel what I'm saying? So if we have people that's in the GOP that can speak strongly for us, then I don't really, because I think that's what Democrats do good. They butter people up, they tell a good story, and they have they do and say good things that's good for television, guys. And it's like at the end of the day, a lot of people like facts, but that's just a lot of people don't hear facts all the time. Some people just think oh, this guy's handsome, or this guy's black, or this, you know what I'm saying? It's just all propaganda at that, and politics just goes out of the window. So me personally, we just have a strong, well-spoken person. I don't really even care if it's I like Tim Scott as well. I like Byron Donalds. These are all very strong, well-spoken people. So if we can just stay strong, because the Republican Party is an elephant, guys. You got to think about it. Democrats, excuse my language, they're jackasses for a reason. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to be strong, wise, and we just have to put the right people in office. And as far as press secretary, I think P. Ray will be the best option as well, guys. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so that's my opinion on vice president. Did you have anything?
Yeah. And lastly, or did you want to say something?
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about the vice president as well. Okay. So I went to the debate that was in Milwaukee. And based on everyone that was on the stage, Doug Burgum is really good. He is really, really good. He is amazing. So I think he's from Montana, yes. So he talked about a very rural experience that I didn't really know too much about outside of him speaking at the debate. And he did so well that afterwards I went up to his wife and his sister and I'm like, yo, Doug did his thing. And they were like, wow, thank you so much. I'm like, no, you tell him that the lady from Chicago said, yes, you did. You did that. Tim Scott does not have the killer instinct. I was going to say the aggression. That's what I'll say. That needs to be had. He had them. They were talking over him. He was trying to get in during the debate. I'm like, man, fight. But he didn't have that fight in him. So I want him to stay in North Carolina to represent his constituents. I would really like again to see Doug Burgum. I think that him and Donald Trump would be city mouse, country mouse, and then they would be able to really, capture all of Americana. However, I'm also leaning towards Ben Carson. Now, Ben Carson would be a game changer because we know that that Ben Carson is a Negro man from Detroit, Michigan. Never in the history of the United States have we ever had a Negro serve in those capacities. President, vice president, I think the highest position we've ever gotten was Condoleezza Rice as Secretary of State. But that would be a game changer because we as a people have been force-fed this image of blackness and how we should support a black candidate because they are black. But then we find out that these people are not kin to us. They not like us, right? So then they get in a situation and then they're not properly representing us and then we're frustrated, but they're just as foreign to us as any white man. So if we have Ben Carson, again, a Negro man, I'm sure his birth certificate says Negro, from Detroit, Michigan projects, who worked hard, became an American icon, had Cuba Gooding Jr. play him in the movie, all of these things that would be really good for MAGA. And it would be an affront to the Democratic Party and how they don't see Negroes fit for leadership.
You know what? Ben Carson would be a good general surgeon. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
I would like that. But, whoever the VP candidates will be, don't vote for this one right here. Don't. I like this one better than that one. But, yeah.
Don't do my soror like that. Y'all can just talk about her policies. Shout out to the soror.
Like Rick James. I know you're going to say, like Rick James say, cold-blooded. But I like those picks right there. And yes, and a MAGA movement is not a cult. It's the way of life. And they say that white racism is MAGA, but MAGA mean make America great. Not white America, not black America, but America, period. Make it great. Some people will say, well, when the last time America was great?
Today.
Yes, during this conversation. That's when MAGA was great. And MAGA will be great when Trump be in office, after he take that hand off the good book and sweep all these illegal immigrants out. And you know what? If in Chicago, we need to start snitching on where these immigrants are at. We really do need to, because it's important to get them out of our neighborhood and hold the people, the aldermen, not just the mayor, not just the government, but we need to hold the city council accountable for allowing these immigrants in our neighborhood. We need to hold these landlords that's taking these money from our tax dollars, hold them accountable. We need to start to be more entrepreneurship in our community and stuff, and take that back. Because if you look at every community, they got what? Every little restaurant and stuff, foreigners own it. We don't own nothing, and we barely own the barbershop.
We got restaurants over here in Austin. We thriving. That's why we fighting like hell to keep it.
Well, you give me the address, I'll fight with you on that one. I will. I don't mind doing a fight. But really need, it's time for us to get serious, black people. And, a vote for Trump is a vote for America.
Absolutely, that was very well said. And lastly, I just want to say, black people, we take a lot of things seriously. Sports, the NBA.
Who did the body? Who made the potato salad?
Who made your potato salad?
What happened on Jerry Springer?
What happened on Jerry Springer? A lot of stuff we take seriously, and politics is no different. I hear a lot of black folks say, I'm not going to fall for the okie doke. I'm not going to get God. Well, guess what? With Joe Biden and Democrats, you guys are voting Democrat and wondering why things are not changing. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of y'all are falling for the okie doke. And in the hood where I come from, my neck of the woods, we don't do that. So if you don't want to get scammed, if you don't want to, things to go poorly or not the way you expect them to go, all I got to say is I'm not even going to tell you who to vote for. I'm just going to say watch Joe Biden and watch Donald Trump. Listen to both of them. Watch the first debate if you haven't watched it already, and come to your own conclusion, because that is the biggest thing the media is terrified of. They have to be the filter. It has to be you, then MSNBC, and then Donald Trump. It has to be you, then CNN, and then Donald Trump. It has to be you, then your vegan English teacher, and then Donald Trump. They have to be the filter and spin whatever he says around and then deliver it to you. How about just for 1 second, think for yourself, listen to both of them speak, come to your own conclusion. That's all I ask of everyone watching this, especially if you are left-leaning. And with that being said, we are going to end it. I'm thankful for everyone for listening and tuning in. We really do appreciate it. And the rally, Sunday, the Unity Rally, please come out, show your support. We really do appreciate it. We will be there at 12 o'clock.
Yes.
at 12 o'clock, and we are going red. Chicago will turn red this November. Thank you, everybody.